What's up, people? I am back. I tried to do this video yesterday, but it. Hold on. Fucking. Sorry. Tried doing this video yesterday, and fucking. It didn't come out right, like, cause like the light was just in. It was almost like literally in the view of the camera, like it was like glaring, and it was bad. So I had to do a retake. So I'm doing it now because my phone was pretty much dead by the time I was done. So I have to do it now. But today I am talking about Sleepaway Camp. We're gonna be doing Sleepaway Camp every Tuesday, even though it's not Tuesday now. But sticking to it, next Tuesday we'll be doing Sleepaway Camp 2. But Sleepaway Camp 1 is such an interesting film because it's one I don't feel like gets a lot of, that doesn't get talked about really. The ending does, but I don't feel like the whole movie does. I think it's an interesting one because, you know, it's such a different film compared to that. Like even like the first Friday the 13th, like there's kids at the camp. You have like camp activities, like, because most of the Friday the 13th movies are either kids that are sneaking to the camp, or, you know, or those first few where the camp is being like renovated. There's like only one film that actually legit had campers, and that was part 6. And even that one didn't really play like a camp because there was a couple different scenes. Where this one, they're at the camp the whole time. There's no other like scene setting. So we meet young Angela and her cousin after an accident that left her brother and her father dead. She now lives with her aunt and her cousin Ricky. They go to Camp Arawaka for the summer, and throughout the film, she gets bullied, and because of that, a lot of the victims who end up dying are people who either bullied her or did something to her, and it's a mystery until we get the reveal. And I think that's why I like slashers in general, especially like the old 80s ones. They kept it simple with the plot. Like, they didn't do anything crazy. Like the plot to this one is pretty simple. Like pretty much that's it. You got to find out the mystery of who the killer is. You know, Ricky, I think he's a fine character, but like he's just there to be the red herring. But I think he does his role well. It's not like, you know, where he's the obvious red herring, but it's just annoying. I think it's done fine here. And the kid they got did a really good job. He just really wants to protect. Like, you just really realize he just wants to protect his cousin. You know? And the actress they got to play Judy, she's one of the girls throughout the film, basically, that fucks with Angela the whole time. Like, she did a really good job at playing a fucking hateable cunt. Like, oh my god, like, throughout the film, you just want her to get it. I'm just like, but, I mean, that show, if you can play a good enough, like, antagonist, which she almost is, like, the secondary antagonist in a way. But the kills themselves I like too. I thought, like, you know, it's not like Friday the 13th, so there's no like people just getting impaled into walls. It's like relatively realistic. You know, you had the one pedo dude who got oil thrown on him, or hot boiling water thrown on him. And then the kid who got killed by bees, and then one kid just got drowned. Like, it's really relatively realistic. And then stabbed, and then the arrow through the neck, which I thought that actually might be my favorite kill the whole movie. I think I initially said the one where they killed Meg, where she gets stabbed in the bathroom in the shower. But yeah, I think it's a really good movie. The ending is really fucked up, and it's a trip, and that ending's gonna stay with you. That's one of those things about this movie. That fucking ending's gonna stay with you. But anyway, other than that, this is probably gonna be my only video today, because I'm not gonna be back by the time, because I'm gonna hang out with a friend a little bit later, like later tonight, and by the time I get back, it's gonna be late. So I do have videos tomorrow though. I'm gonna be doing 2 videos. I'm gonna be reviewing both Underworld 1, not 1, fucking Rise of the Lycans and Awakening, and then Friday will be my first live stream where I'll be reacting to Prey live. So I'll be doing that then. But aside from that, I'm gonna get started on the review here. But cheers. So the movie opens up. We see a young Angela with her brother, her father, Camp Arawaka. So yeah, this was we're in a flashback. A freak accident happens where her father and her brother end up dead, because of a freak boat accident. And then we jump to current 1983, where we meet Ricky, her cousin, and his mom, her aunt, who, I gotta say, the aunt is fucking creepy, man. Just the way she talks, and she's just this overly nice, but it's in a weird way. It's every scene she's in, 'cause she's in a scene later, is just God, she's fucking creepy. Or she would even be like, "Oh, did I do a good thing?" Like that. She's fucking creepy. So, but yeah, then they go to camp. This is where we meet Paul, who's a friend of Ricky's, and he's basically the kind of the love interest for Angela. We also meet Judy, who, like I mentioned earlier, is the cunt of the film. And a couple of the counselors who, I gotta say, the counselors actually did a pretty good job. Especially the one dude, even though he's in really fucking short shorts. He genuinely cared for the kids. And I think in general, this movie does a good job. A lot of the kids are fucking assholes, but the counselors, they did a good job of getting you to somewhat care about these characters. So, especially for a slasher movie. So, So our first murder, or I guess it's not murder necessarily, our first, I'll just say attack. Angela, one of the counselors notices that Angela's not eating. So he takes her to the chef, who basically, there's even a line earlier where you notice this dude's a pedo. Because he straight up says something about there's never too young. Holy shit. It's you just want this dude to die the moment he comes on screen. So he takes her back there, tries to do things to her. Ricky walks in, and the cook threatens both of them and basically tells them go away. And then he's trying to cook, and then an unseen killer, who we get a little bit of an FPS view, a little bit. They definitely got a little bit of that from Friday the 13th, at least this scene specifically. And then we see even him reacting, but you don't know who the killer is. Though we do know it's a kid, because the guy says little bastard or something. So the killer pulls the chair from under him and causing him to fall, and the pot to fall on him, and hot boiling oil, or not oil, water on him, and he fucking got what was coming. But I gotta say, the special effects were really good. On his hands, because you were seeing his hands, and then on his face. It was really well done for a film in 1983. That's another reason I think I like these films. The makeup. Just the makeup alone just is always well done for the most part. Then the head of the camp, after what happened, earlier in the film, he doesn't want any kind of bad publicity, so he pays off the other cooks to basically not say anything and keep it a secret. So kind of see that Angela's just kind of getting bullied throughout the film. So later that night, there's like this big hangout, and a couple of the guys who they're like the older boys noted like I think one of their friend like dared them to ask Angela out or come with them like skinny dipping or come with them to the lake. They asked her and she doesn't like respond, and they start like making fun of her. Ricky starts a fight with them, and just pretty decent scene. And then we see Paul talk to her, and actually he's like the only one basically is nice to her. And then we actually see her talk for the first time, and Judy starts getting jealous that her and Paul are starting to have a thing. And then we get our pretty much our next murder, or I guess our first official like actual killing, because the guy he didn't die, the first dude. He just got like severely injured, which is actually better. But so our first actual kill, the one of the dudes who was hitting on Angela tips the canoe over because he had like a girl in it, like to play a prank. And then because the canoe is tipped, they don't see, there's no one seeing. So we see a figure rise out of the water, and and I love that the people are like actually reacting to the killer, like because they know who he is. They reference who they don't say it, but it's like it would be I think the guy said like something like it would be cool if the guy saw this, and then he gets drowned after that. So like they kept it like, I like the simplicity of the kills in this movie. Don't get me wrong, I like the more over the top ones from Friday the 13th, but I do like the simplicity of just drown them, No one's seeing, the boat's already tipped over, so you don't see it. So yeah, she after that, a counselor finds one of the bodies because they're trying to like clean up the mess afterwards, and they end up finding the body. And the death is still relatively is done in a way where it can be like an accident. Same thing with what happened earlier with the cook. Like that can be chopped down to an accident. Even though the counselor, one of them, like the main, I'm going to say muscle counselor because he was fucking yoked, was basically trying to say like, but that kid could swim. Because he said it to the cop afterwards. But head of the camp just wants it to be a drowning. Accidental drowning. That's it. So we start seeing Paul and Angela. I think this is where their relationship starts blossom. Like he talks to her for a bit, and then there's a scene he kisses her for the first time, and they're like kind of like fully a thing now. And we see like Meg is just jealous of, like, it's kind of crazy. Like this older fuck is, I think Meg is like one of the counselors, so she has to be like at least 18. I'm assuming 18 or 19, and it's like, why are you jealous of this like little teenage girl, bro? Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. So, and then I think the next scene. Oh yeah, the next murder is one of the boys who is playing because there's a scene earlier where Ricky is playing softball or baseball against the older boys, and he wins. One of the older boys, they're on top of like the cabins, and they're like throwing water balloons around. So they end up throwing a water balloon at Angela. I think this was after the scene where fucking Judy was talking more shit to Angela, and this is the big scene that they wanted to make you basically think Ricky was the killer. Like Ricky's like freaking out. He's like saying, "I'll beat your faces in. I'll cut your heart out," like stuff like that. And after that, the one dude runs to the bathroom, and we see a figure put like a stick in front of the door so they can't get out. Cuts the hole in the thing in the window, and then drops a beehive. And I thought this kill was pretty good, even though I've seen people make, and it's a good point somewhat, like, why couldn't he just get out from under the stall? But whatever. I mean, I look at it, it's 80 slashers. There's just some things that happen that I'm like, you just kind of have to kind of accept it. Because, like, none of this would happen. I mean, would Jason punching someone's heart in, punching his hand through somebody, would that happen? Or punching somebody's face off it, and punching someone's face off, that wouldn't happen either. So it's like, it's fine, and I think it's still done real enough, and I'll just accept he's overly allergic to bees. But I thought the makeup was actually really well done when he falls and you see like his arm, and there's just like all these blisters and fucking sting marks, and the bees are all on his face. It was really well done shit. Like, this movie's like shot well too. I gotta say, like, some good cinematography shots, some like when it would transition at nighttime, like some good like just kind of skyline shots. Like, I thought that was pretty well done for a film that came out in '83. So that's our next murder. This is the moment where I think the head counselor's now realizing, he's real. Okay, we're finished, and he's now realizing there's a killing, and he's slowly starting to think it's Ricky because of what Ricky said earlier. Then Paul tries to hook up with Angela at the lake, but Angela has like a flashback of her gay father, like in bed with his lover, and like she starts like basically she's uncomfortable with sex and water. Those are like the two things she doesn't. And it's the water thing's understandable. Her father and brother died in water, so he tries to hook up with her, but she like freaks out and runs off. And then he tries to do it again the next day, but she runs off again. And Judy basically convinces him to hook up with her. And Ricky and Angela find them kissing. And then this is pretty much where we get the bullying kind of escalates now. Because Ricky, you know how he usually tries to help his cousin, the fucking head of the camp fully now thinks Ricky's the killer, and is even like putting his hands on Ricky. He's like, because like Ricky's trying to go help Angela, because Meg and Angela are about to throw Angela in the water, and like the head of the camp is like preventing him from saving her. He runs off and gets Angela out of the water. And it was kind of funny, though. The one counselor called them peckerheads. I thought that was funny. And then, yeah, while walking her back, fucking asshole little kids kicked over, like, throwing sand at them. And another scene where Ricky is kind of made to be the obvious red herring. Because the way he talks, because he says, like, we're going to get them back. But it's not like we're just going to get them back. It's, like, more. I'll just jump ahead a bit to the next murder. I guess 2 murders, actually. Meg goes after asking out the head of the camp, like, what the fuck? That was just random. Like, when that happened, I'm like, oh, I didn't remember this. She goes to take a shower. A figure walks in, and it's actually probably one of my favorite kills in the movie, just because of the effects and stuff. Stabs through the wall, because she's like standing, like leaning on the wall. Hand stabs through the wall, and it's like the blood that's like squirting out looks real. It's done in a way where, because some slashers, they get either overly light, like bright red blood, because like blood is not that bright. Like blood is like darker red, not like light red. So they did a good job with the effects in this movie, in this scene specifically too. And then after that, one of the counselors is was taking the kids out, camping, like actually camping, like in the woods. But a couple of kids like complained that it was too cold, so he agrees to take them back to camp. But even though it's like, why didn't you take them all back to camp? But whatever. I mean, I get it. This scene had to happen. Blah. This scene had to happen. So it's just one of those things. Then we see a figure walk up and look at the hatch, and then we kind of leave it a mystery. And I'll get back to this scene in a second. But our next murder is after like there's like I think it was like a dance, like some kind of dance. Paul gets Angela to agree to meet him at the lake, and then we see a figure walk in Meg's room, and I remember I looked this up, and apparently like the original, because the one I watched it was on Tubi, so it's like the more upscale version. But apparently when you watch it on Tubi, like the original the because you see a figure at the door and it's Ricky. Like you can actually see it's Ricky, or the actor that plays Ricky in like a wig. But apparently the original footage, like when it originally came out or on the original VHS and stuff, it was actually just a silhouette. And I actually think that works better. So I'd probably say with this scene, just watch that one. Just watch that scene, like that version. So I feel like it works better with the effect, but it still works. Then, yeah, Judy gets the shit punched out of her, and then the killer puts a pillow on her, and then we see, like in a shadow, grab a curling iron, and I remember thinking, I thought, oh, did he like put the curling iron on the pillow to like almost make her suffocate on hot air? But no. I looked up what actually happened. Apparently, that curling iron went up her pussy. It was up, yeah. And apparently they were originally going to shoot it, but it was too dark. And I actually think it works better with the shadows anyway, where you're just seeing her hands raised and just slowly dying. I think when like you just see, or the shadow of the curling iron, you don't necessarily know what happens. I like the mystery of it. Then now back to the kill. The counselor who took the kids back comes back, and we just see the kids dead. 3 kids dead. And I thought this scene was pretty dark. And I remember I watched a reaction after, because I wanted to see people's reaction mainly to the ending. And I think a person said like that they felt like the kids getting killed was a bit over the top. Like it didn't necessarily need to be there. I look at it as I think it worked. And I'll get more into that later, but because I'm gonna go more into, we know the killer's Angela. I want to go on this whole thing about it, but I think it works, and especially just because of the reaction. The counselor did a really good job, man. That scene, like that was a legit reaction. Like even the puking, like that was a legit reaction. It's pretty dark. So police arrives. We're now getting pretty much closer to like the final act. And again, that's the other thing. There's no chase in the end, like a traditional Friday the 13th movie either. Like, yeah, there's no chase in the end. It's pretty much the cops just finding the bodies. And our last on-screen murder is the head of the camp. He snags Ricky, and because he thinks Ricky's the killer, he found Meg's body. And there's even a scene where he's like, I'm gonna stop him. And then, yeah, he starts beating the shit out of Ricky. And then he notices a figure, follows it, and then he realizes that who the actual killer is, and then just gets an arrow in the neck. Pretty brutal. Then we see Angela meet with Paul, and now Angela's just completely crazy now, because this is the moment where pretty much most people should realize, yeah, she's a killer. The cop from earlier arrives, and oh my god, his fucking mustache. Like, there's a scene, actually, I think it's his actual mustache, but there's a scene, I think, where he finds Meg's body, and oh my god, it's like the fakest mustache you'll ever see. It's hilarious. It doesn't, like, detract from the movie, but it's fun. It's one quick scene. It's just funny. And they start hearing humming, and the counselors walk up, and they see it's Angela. A nude Angela with caressing Paul. Paul's eyes are closed. We know he's dead, but they don't show it yet. And then we get a flashback to the aunt after what happened earlier, and we actually get a reveal that it was actually the brother that survived, and that Angela died. And the aunt mentioned that she already has a boy, so she wanted to make him a girl, and this is where we get the name drop Peter, and this is where we get the most I guess one of the most, I guess iconic is a good word, but it's also fucked endings ever. Angela stands up and, with a fucking just cock in full sight, holding a knife. Paul's head just falls, and the noise she's making is fucked. I'm not gonna lie, the noise is fucked. And then the movie ends with that reveal. And the face Felissa Rose makes just works. Well done, movie. That twist, especially if you watch it for the first time, you're gonna be shocked by that ending. But overall, I think it's a solid slasher, and it doesn't play like a normal slasher because there's no real chases at all. I don't think there's any chases in this movie. The fact that they did that and didn't just rip off Friday the 13th, which I'm going to compare it to another movie. I did like this movie, but I think it ultimately suffered kind of because of it. It's called The Burning. I think it came out 81. It suffered because essentially it was Friday the 13th. I mean, the killer has a fucked up beginning. If I remember right, I'll definitely review this one somewhere down the line, maybe closer to Halloween. Counselors or campers did a fucked up prank on him that ended up leaving him disfigured, and he wants vengeance, and he kills people at a camp. It's very much like Friday the 13th. This one literally isn't. There's no chase scenes, no hulking killer or anything like that. It's just this little girl who's revealed to be a boy. Yeah, that twist you didn't see coming. And going back to the kids, why I think it works. One, it's the kids who kicked sand at her. That's so fucked up. You don't kill kids, but that's what it was. And I also look it up that Angela's just fucking full on gone now. So she's just gone kill crazy. But overall, I really like this movie. It's an interesting one. You have likable counselors. I like the camp setting is actually really interesting. The score's pretty good, honestly. It's not it doesn't fully stand out, but it still works. I think the kills work. I would recommend this movie. Just watch it. The ending will fuck you up, but it is a really interesting movie. I would give about a 7 out of 10. The series overall, I enjoyed. I thought, the sequels definitely, 2 and 3, are very much more traditional, 80s slashers. You got your tits, you got your more over-the-top kills, kids doing drugs, sex, all that shit. But they're fun. And the chick who plays Angela in those is awesome. She's so fucking over the top. I love it. How just chipper she is when she's just killing people and casual about it. She'll just casually pull out a fucking knife and just stab you. It's very well done. They're short, so I'll definitely review those, and I can't wait to watch Return to Sleepaway Camp. So that's the only one I need to watch. And with that one is apparently it kind of pulls a 2018 and erases 2 and 3, and is a sequel to the original. So, but yeah, after Sleepaway Camp, I've kind of been on an 80s slasher kick again. Maybe after these are done, I might do maybe even before. I watched Prom Night the other day, so maybe I'll review that at some point. So, but other than that, no videos today. Tomorrow I got 2 videos planned, and then Friday, stream. So, other than that, I am going to take a hit and peace out for the day. As usual, fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.